allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please do your roll call, please.
Hausler. Here. Pittsburgh.
Hughes.
Bacon.
Here.
Gilmore.
Here.
Steinhardt.
Excused.
Ambrositis.
Here.
Hopeling.
Here.
Majeski.
Here.
Pasco.
Here. Okay,
We have a change to the agenda.
change the agenda due to a scheduling conflict, we are striking the closed session. And with that change, could I get a motion to accept the agenda?
I'll make a motion, we accept the agenda with the changes as presented.
Second. Motion got a second, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Could I get a motion to approve the commissioner minutes from September 20th and 29th?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Motion got a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? General public comment. Any comments on the communications list?
Step one, I think that we might want to consider drafting some more regulations.
I have that in my report.
Pete, you're up.
Okay, thank you.
Good thing you're here early, huh?
Oh, a little bird told me it'd be a good idea.
Oh, all right.
Well, good morning. Every year, by September 30th, all the, local communities are to report on the 4029 form, what they intend to levy, in the winter. The county also does this for the summer and the winter as well. What equalization does is compile all these millages that are going to be levied and, reports them, to the board, for the spread of taxes. And so essentially it's a compilation, it's everything set. However, there could potentially be ballot issues out there still, on November. And, so we'll be working with the clerk's office and those local units and may need to come back before you with the revised portion of the report. So it's compiling, checking that the individual unit doesn't go over the statutory limit that they're required and to check for that.
Anybody got any questions for Pete? That's right. Arlene, you read the motion?
Make a motion to accept the apportionment report as presented and authorize the equalization director to spread the tax roll.
I'll second it. Motion got a second. Roll call, please, Steve.
Hausler. Yes. Majeski.
Yes.
Bacon.
Yes.
Gilmore.
Yes.
Steinhardt. Oh, I'm sorry. Ambrositis.
Yes.
Hopeling.
Yes.
Pasco.
Yes.
I can make a brief comment as far as equalization is concerned. We are moving forward, diligently with our studies, that we'll be getting out to the assessors on December 1st. We do have the residential class essentially done. We sent it back out to the local unit assessors, to any corrections to sales or anything that we may not know about, on a particular sale. So we should, around the, mid-December, we should have a good idea of what increases will be looking like, at least for assessed value for the next year. We'll see if we can get the audience with you folks when we get that a little more settled.
As long as it's an increase.
Do what we can. Thank you.
Thanks, Pete. Lori?
The Senate approved the juvenile justice reform bills. There are 32 recommendations that were provided to our legislature that would improve community safety, reduce disparities, and improve youth outcomes. Some recommendations are policy framework and service infrastructure to ensure youth who are at low risk or of reoffending are diverted from the juvenile justice system. Another one is statewide policies and tools to ensure that predisposition detention is used only for youth who are a public safety or flight risk. And another recommendation is court rules and funding incentives that guide the use of post-disposition residential placements. and a streamlined system for case management received by youth in post-disposition residential placement. There was a House Energy Committee meeting, House Bill 5120, 5121, 5122, and 5123. Which is what David was suggesting a little bit earlier. This is aiming to take away the local control of siting and permitting renewable energy facilities and give the power to the MPSC, which is the Michigan Public Service Commission. This is being pushed by the governor's office, environmentalists, and solar development companies. It comes after multiple lawsuits between developers and township officials. If the MPSC takes control over siting for facilities, developers would no longer need to go through local units of government or zoning. They could just come in and do it. It would be the MPSC that would make the decision. So townships would no longer have a say or be able to enforce their zoning. And I would ask that as a board, at the next meeting, that we pass a resolution opposing this legislation. And I can get that resolution drafted for the next meeting if you're okay with that. Personal property tax reimbursement bills head to the governor's desk, House Bill 4553, 4554, Senate Bill 331. That's legislation that recreates a reimbursement process for local governments who lose money due to personal property tax exemptions. I don't know if you remember, in December of 2021, legislature expanded the personal property tax exemption for businesses from 80,000 in true cash value to 180,000 in true cash value, creating an estimated $75 million annual loss statewide for local governments. I looked into the House Bill 4574, 75, and Senate Bill 332, 333 that Gabe was talking about, the Family Medical Optimum Leave Act. It stalled. There has been no traction on this bill since it's introduced, and I will monitor this and keep you posted. So thank you for bringing that up so I can look at it. November's Family Court Awareness Month. I would like to bring a resolution to you at the next meeting, recognizing the importance of the family court system that prioritizes child safety and acts in the best interest of children. I'd like to pass this around for all of you to look at. It is the Fall Pipeline magazine, which features the Little Tobacco River Drain. It's the feature article and it's on the cover. So I'd like you all to take a look at that. Employees are having a trunk or treat at 5:30 on Halloween in the courthouse parking lot. We're also having a Halloween potluck on Friday, October 27th, organized by Dusty from the prosecutor's office. We will be closed Friday, November 10th in observance of Veterans Day. There will be a Veterans Day ceremony on Saturday, November 11th at the Veterans Freedom Park at 11 a.m. with the luncheon immediately following at the Harrison VFW. Remember, next month's meeting will be Committee of the Whole on November 1st. And then the following week is the Board of Commissioners regular meeting on November 8th. It will not be the third Wednesday due to opening day deer season, which is November 15th. So do not forget. First, Committee of the Whole. 8th, Board of Commissioners meeting. That's all I have.
Thank you. David, you think finance aid?
Course. Motion to approve set for finance committee meeting minutes of December 18th, 2023. The amount of $64,971.77. The minutes of October 2nd, 2023, the amount of $395,218.45.
The motion is second. Roll call, please.
Hopewell,
Yes.
Majeski,
Yeah.
Counselor. Yes. Bacon,
Yes.
Gilmore,
Yes.
Amorzitis,
Yes.
Pascal.
Yeah. Dale?
A motion to approve the expenditures of the month of September 2023 in the amount of $3,846,927.45 for the general fund expenditures totaling $1,299,571.
Roll call, vote Second.
Second.
Roll call, please, Casey.
Majeski.
Yes.
Bacon,
Yes.
Counselor,
Yes.
Gilmore,
Yes.
Ambrositus,
Abstain.
Holding.
Yes.
And Haskell.
Yeah. You can see.
I make a motion to approve the budget adjustments numbers 24 through 1. Adjustment number 24-1 in the amount of $267,000 to be distributed.
I'll second.
Your motion, your second, roll call, please.
Ambrositus,
Yes.
Holding,
Yes.
Majeski,
Yes.
Counselor,
Yes.
Bacon,
Yes.
Gilmore,
Yes.
Haskell.
Yes. Basically, got anything for us?
I told Laura I would prepare something and then got busy yesterday and didn't prepare anything. We did, attend our elections crew in our office, did attend a training on Prop 22-2 and the implementation, including some of the legislation that's recently been passed regarding how 22-2 is actually going to work. It was very informative, a lot of information, and we are working every day towards making sure our 2024 elections run smoothly.
Thank you. Jenny, you hand us this packet, did you?
I did,
All right.
I did. Good morning. You guys have, I did set out the statutory report for you this, before the meeting this morning, so you should have them on your desk. Our unaudited fiscal year 2023 ending fund balance is tentatively at 26% of expenses. We still have the accrual period that may change that figure. The remaining ARPA balance to use in fiscal year 2024 is $865,000. I've been working with Lori, admin, Lori and Joy, to look into paying AP via ACH, and we're pretty excited about that because we have a lot of checks that get lost in the mail. We don't get cash, so we're hoping that this will be something going forward that will be positive. I've also been working with the Michigan Association of Land Banks, admin Lori, Sarah with the Michigan Works and MMDC, and meeting with some local units and emailing with some schools about vacant, unoccupied, blighted properties. We're hoping to use the $500,000 blight grant to remediate some of these. There's also an opportunity to apply for another round of blight money. We're working to coordinate on the land bank board will be meeting in November to hopefully get this up and running. And that date is not set yet, but working on that. We are now selling 2024 and 2026 dog licenses. Animal Control Director Rudy was able to get a date set for the county one-stop shop rabies clinic. It's set for Saturday, November 4th from 10 to 2. They have a vet come in to administer the rabies vaccination. They also do a parvo and distemper vaccination. The rabies vaccination is $10, and then my office will be there selling the 1-year and 3-year dog licenses. And then just as of this morning, the Veterans Freedom Grant, Freedom Park loan is officially paid off. Final payment is paid. They are great. It's all good now. I know that was probably a lot, but does anyone have any questions?
Thank you, Jenny.
You're welcome.
Michigan Works this last Friday. Yeah, the last day of the month, September, had a job fair at Saginaw Valley. I guess that went very well. There was 15,000 kids went to it. Really quite a to do, so who was on to running that, they do a very good job and hopefully it helps the youth participants get into the workforce. And last month's health department meeting, they had their whole region came to a board meeting down at the Church from Nazarene and Claire, and I got to see Dale, the chair of that board, hand out a bunch of awards to their employees. That was kind of fun to get. It was very nice. That's all I got.
report on that. Good job, Jeff. That's all right. Just attending my meetings, there's a lot of concern out there about the House bill, the septic system inspections and stuff like that. There's a lot of talk out there about that, how people are, and they're actually against it, so.
That's in the stall too.
Yeah, that's right. So, other than that, that's it, that's all that.
Okay. Marlene?
I have nothing, I've just been attending my meetings and that's all that.
David? Oh, one page?
I try to condense it so that we could have a clearer experience. First off, Franklin Township, they had their auditors in for their, biannual audit. They were getting a clean bill of health on that. They had concerns from a lawyer firm from Lansing that sent them a couple nasty grams about, pigs in subdivisions. That they were looking into, right to, farm act. They decided it. Airport board meeting, we discussed the air approaches, and gates to the airport. Summerfield was a mixture of discussions about the, Christmas party for the, township, and then, concerns about internet and phone signal service. They're currently in talks with a, company about having a new tower put up in that township. Although they have yet to iron out the details on how much rent the township would be receiving on that. This last month, end of last month, beginning of this month, I went to the, MERS and MAC conferences. Starting off the MERS one, it was very informative. I learned quite a bit about what, MERS has for us that I hadn't, they apparently launched a new app where you could look at for the status of your accounts and how you were doing as you, work your way towards retirement. So it's very important to look at all the resources they have there for us. For the MAC conference, we elected our slate of representatives for MAC board, so we'll have a full team prepared to go to battle for local government in Lansing. There were a couple interesting breakout sessions that I attended that I thought I mentioned. First, the state of Michigan's Department of Corrections has come up with a new mentoring program, and they're hoping to use to lower the offenses. It's actually a program that another state can come up with, and basically what they're doing is they're having people who are out on voting matched with a mentor of someone who used to be in that system, who has experience of going through what they are currently going through. They found that it leads to lower rates of reoffending. So they're hoping to have good success with that project. They are looking for mentors, both people who have been through the parole process itself and the just general public, anyone who's willing to help out. The mentors and volunteers, they take them on today and help. So that was really inspiring what they had at that session. Another session that I attended was one on collective bargaining and strategies on how to make things go smoother when negotiating contracts. Quite interesting. I had never really thought of some of the things that they mentioned about that. One major thing that happened at the conference is we had a couple of legislative updates regarding the House bills that have been going through. The local control versus state control. As Larry mentioned earlier, most of them have stalled out at the moment. From what Mac is telling us, it looks like the House and Senate are going to have a short legislative session this fall. In hopes to have the, February 27th date for the, presidential primary. The way that the state senate passed the bill to move it, they didn't have it done so that they wouldn't have to wait the 90 days. So in order for them to have it on the 27th, it's likely going to have to close on it, which would push most of the bill into the next legislative. At very least, we'll have a little more time. Moving on from that, the Maine Nation Community Action Agency, meeting this month, they informed us that they launched a new personnel file system. It's called Bamboo. It's supposed to help streamline some of the, paperwork processes that have bogged down certain aspects of the agency, including for people who are applying for a job with the Community Action Agency. They will be filling out forms on that so that it's easier to track. They also had a discussion on a couple of new grants that are coming up. We approved one of them for veteran homelessness. So we'll be having money to help veterans with their homes and making sure that they have adequate housing. Over at Hamilton Township, we had discussions on the master plan. They're nearing completion on it. They're adding a couple new ordinances, which delayed things slightly, but it's getting to the point where they're just about done. And in Hamilton, they're also having towers that has been approached, a company that's been going through the county trying to get better coverage of the county. That has finally finalized the agreement between them and the township, is getting $650 off the township. That's pretty good. Yesterday I attended the LEPC and the 911 advisory boards. For the LEPC, we had discussions about things, but the main important one was phishing scams. If you get an email from someone, make sure that the email address matches the person that you're receiving it from, because there's a lot of people that have been trying to steal information from people who especially were connected to a contact list for the account a couple years ago. And you're all aware there was an issue with our email server. Just yesterday, someone tried to use the Arlene Terranian's name to get stuff to put on it. Unsafe products. So just be careful when you have links that you get in your email. Don't click anything if you're suspicious about it, let us know. And then we're gonna have elections in January for the 911 had an update on our budget, and we elected a new chair. Preston is the chief of the Clare Police Department. And then Frost Township, last night we talked about the state bills. They're very concerned about how things are going. And they also approved the facilitating ordinance that here is going around and talking to the townships about. It's very important that it gives the township team in order to make sure that if there ever is a hazardous spill, anything from a car fire, from a car to oil tanker, that they need methods in order to be able to keep the money, otherwise they're gonna get for it. That's all I have.
Thank you.
Good morning. So, David mentioned about the gates. We are also having our meeting on Monday for the airport meeting at 5 o'clock in this room. We've received the files from MDOT Aeronautics finally. They're ready to be downloaded, but Josh Gavin has been working with some server issues. So we haven't had a chance to get those downloaded, but that's at least a development in a positive direction. Our plan is still due to MDOT Aeronautics, how we're gonna fix that. The issues that they've identified no later than 30 November. Hayes Township, I went to their meetings, they're working on Blake, that's the contentious issues from managing. Road commission is finishing all the projects for this year. Buttoning that up and getting ready for winter. And then lastly, all the annual lake board meetings for his town. What do you have any questions?
Thanks, Gabe. George?
And attending my meetings, Sheridan Township is upset with the state line to take control of solar and wind. Because they just paid the attorney fees, they have ordinances drawn up against those. So, other than that, everything's going good.
That's the hot item, man.
Yeah.
Sure.
Nothing to report.
State of the county budget. Kind of new, our fund balance is doing well. And we still have more revenue to come, I guess, so.
And then accrued back expenses, but there shouldn't be a ton of expenses, you know. But we do still have some revenue coming in. That we're waiting.
Any public comment? Yes, Mike.
Like, back in January, I was here, brought up the ambulance problem. You guys advised that you were aware that you'd look into it. I just wonder what we've done to look into it, what steps we've taken, and what the answers are.
I can answer that. Sorry. There's a medical advisory board, and it's like an authority, and they're the ones that have the authority over the ambulance service in the county. The county board does not have the, oversight or the power that has to go through the, med control. It has to go through med control. That's, so the county board, they can't do anything about it, but they do have a representative on that med control board. So it would be good if you could go to one of the med control board meetings to talk about your concerns. I know that our board representative has, let them know about some of the concerns.
What was the response to that?
I know I'm not part of the med control board.
They actually, they're just looking into it really, it was brought up, about the extended response times. And utilization of other counties, ambulance services and stuff like that, and they have none available. So they were looking into it. Brett Hanson is the gentleman that's looking into that, so I haven't got a response back yet.
Brett Hanson's from Mark, right?
Yep. Yes.
So, I guess who's responsible to hold somebody's feet to the fire, because that's the answer you get from everybody. We're looking into it. We've been looking into it for almost 2 years.
That would be, Dr. Duff is.
It seems to me everybody's easy answer. We're looking into it. Well, we've been doing that for 2 years. Nobody's come up with an answer yet.
Yeah.
And our ambulance service is getting worse to worse. I mean, you're on Lincoln Township, you know. Surrey Township, I was at the meeting last week and they're talking about trying to get their rescue, the license to transport because it's so bad down there.
The thing is we tried to pursue that a few years ago, and that has to be approved through the med control for Surrey to do that. So, I know we had tried it, and we, got a little bit of kickback on it. So maybe things have changed, you know.
You know when their meetings are? You know when that meeting is?
You know, they have them sporadic, really. They're about every other month, so.
I can get you that information.
Sometimes they have them, sometimes they cancel. Sometimes they're typically the same day as our committee of the whole meeting, which is the first Wednesday of the month. At like 11:30, 11:45 at the Clare. We'll still be there in Clare. So.
Okay, any other public comment? No unfinished business? No new business?
I'll get one.